Yeah, man, this is part one of Terrence Crawford versus Shawn Porter fight fight breakdown. I'm like to start off by saying, I'm a big supporter, not a fan, but I'm a big supporter of Terrence Crawford fighting style and Shawn Porter. Both of them are very tough, high level, highly skilled, and two future Hall of Famers. Let me get that out the way first before I get into my breakdown. I say if Terrence Crawford choose to fight, if Terrence Crawford choose to fight Shawn Porter, southpaw, it would be a harder fight if he choose to fight him. If he would choose to fight him, right-handed, orthodox. Because one of Shawn's biggest pet peeves is that straight right hand is real close, and it gives Shawn Porter trouble getting in. He kind of can't get around that straight right hand. He always had problems. Shawn Porter is almost like a orthodox, or almost like a southpaw when it comes to the right hand. It's like when you throw that 1-2, that jab, he stays still. He always, Ugas was catching him with it. Danny got him with it, and Kell Brook was getting him with it, but Keith Thurman chose not to throw it. But from a southpaw stance, where I believe Terrence Crawford would fight him from, it would be harder catching him with the right hook. But Terrence Crawford is good at setting up his right hook, but I don't know how his range, how he going to be able to judge his range when it comes to Shawn Porter, because Shawn Porter, Terrence Crawford is very tricky how he gets his that right. He disguises his right hook. It's kind of like he uses his variation in his movement with his jab, and then he like to pull out after he turn his jab. He turn his jab over into a sweeping left, sweeping left, and then he get you with the right hook after he get you not looking. But I believe if Terrence Crawford was to catch Shawn Porter with one of those sneaky right, he can put Shawn out, because he got that's one of the best punches in boxing is Terrence Crawford right hook is one of the best punches I've seen in boxing. It's very devastating. It's the best punch in boxing. It's Terrence Crawford's sneaky right hook. It's the best. The way he disguises it more is like he's a southpaw. Better than most southpaws. His right hook is one of the most deadly, and that's his strong hand. So it is even more stronger than a natural southpaw, because his right is his strong hand. That's why his right hook is so deadly. That's his strong hand, and he puts you down with that. But I believe Terrence Crawford with Shawn Porter, shotgun jab, and the way he changes angles and the speed and the locations of his jab when he shoots it to your chest, and then he use a little lateral movement, change levels, and come in. I believe Terrence Crawford would have trouble finding him and dictating the range with Shawn Porter. And Shawn Porter would get those looping overhand rights. He would get a lot of those in on I believe he would get a lot of those in on Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford will be forced to stand in and trade with Shawn Porter. One thing he good at dropping his hands and letting you hit him, slip, and coming over the top. And I believe that he would do that. He would get and challenge Shawn Porter to a real fight with his hands down, come in and fight. Cause he that type of person. Terrence Crawford got that type of machismo on some Razor Ramon shit. Come on, hey yo. I believe he would challenge Shawn Porter, manhood, and it would be that type of fight. And I don't see him winning that fight. I hope he wouldn't fight Shawn Porter that way, because Shawn Porter's a whole lot of man. Pause. He a whole lot of man. A whole lot of man to be dealing with on that level. And Terrence Crawford is a little light in the ass to be challenging a big, bulky, strong, athletic, speed and power Shawn Porter to a who gonna let your nuts hang the lowest contest. Who got the biggest cock in the yard contest. I don't think he gonna win that. But if he purely just box and able to control the distance, I could see him porting Shawn Porter on the 12th round decision. Or I could see Shawn coming inside and beating him to the punch and beating him on the 12th round decision. But the rest of it, this is part 1 of the film study. I'm going to break the rest of it down in part 2 tomorrow. Y'all hit the thumbs up, support the channel. Shawn Porter versus from Terrence Crawford film study part 1. This might be a 3-part.